Welcome to Wange. Welcome to Lanyula Cultural Village. Welcome to Zimbabwe, my fellow nature lovers and travelers. And we're here just enjoying in the gardens of our sort of pilot project we are doing here in Wange. Our aim is trying to build the future generation of African villages that have sustainability in them. So the whole concept is based on sustainability, so that we don't rely on outside things or outside handouts, and we tend to sort of develop using our natural resources that are around us. So basically we're eliminating poverty by using what God has given us. So this is an experimental project. If it doesn't work out, then it's fine. But we so far we are almost there, and we are trying to push ourselves to match any other country in the world. And our model is I want to put it is based on the Scandinavian models. And I know you get criticism by comparing an apple and an orange, but because the Scandinavian is an extreme cold weather and with an extreme warm weather here, but we have a lot of similarities in the models that we are trying to do here. So that's basically what we're going to talk about. So okay, with me here is Mr. Dengu. I'll talk to Mr. Dengu, and I've got Mr. Marerwa as well. How are you, Mr. Dengu?
Yeah, fine indeed.
Good.
Okay.
Nice to see you.
Yeah. It's
How is welcome to Wange?
Yes, it's a great place to be in Wange. We are in this natural environment and loving this fresh air and green environment. Exactly, the push here is to go green, have a natural environment, conserve our environment, and enjoy nature as it were. So I think it's a noble idea, a great idea to have this cultural center and cultural campsites where you can have various aspects of our country showcased here, from the great Zimbabwe to the various tribes of this country who make up the southern region of Africa. So I would urge everyone and anyone who is able to come to Zimbabwe to visit Wange, visit Victoria Falls, and visit this village, this magnificent village. That's my take.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dengu, for that. Yes, Mr. Marerwa, what do you think?
Okay, the two concepts of this village are noble. First one is that the cultural aspects is brought out by the various aspects which are brought out. The themes are brought up in the houses which have been built. We've got the Tonga hut, with the Ndebele hut, and we also have which is the other one?
The Nambi.
Yes, Nambi. In the Great Zimbabwe, portrays the Zimbabwean culture in general, which is the Roshi culture. So that attracts people from all over the country to come and see aspects which have to do with their culture. Then secondly, the aspect of employment. Once this place starts operating, even as we talk right now, people are already working here, which means there's employment. So if the tourism aspect starts operating when people come and stay here, which means there will be income generating aspects, revenue generation. So the center will be self-sustaining. So the aspect of sustainability will come out when the place starts operating and people come in as a tourist to see the place. And on the other hand, the culture is preserved through the artifacts and the structures which are built here. So in short, I can say this village is all the ingredients of being self-sustaining, and also being a center of attraction for tourists.
Oh, thank you very much for that insight. Yes. So yeah. So what we are finding out is more about sustainability and also culture, and putting that together to bring us in economic activities. So what I also think is our people actually also moving away from the cultural part of it. So we are trying to instill that into having a reminder of the origins of where they've come from, and the people that know their history are more advanced. So we got to know that. So it's a reminder. All the buildings that we've been putting up here, or the structures we've been putting up, are a reminder of their history, and it also energizes that study in history, and it makes our people develop. So what we're trying to do is, once we succeed here, we want to put this as a duplication across the country. So we can notice that developing countries like Zimbabwe in particular, and can actually catapult itself out of its problems if we try and use the similar models that we are using of natural resources. We don't need to go to hardware shops, because hardware shops are more expensive, and we can't do that. We just have to use the rocks that we find here to make our pathways and all that stuff. So we can duplicate and then put our models to other places as well, so that people can learn and reflect on our failures and our success, because we've seen so many hurdles along the way. So yeah, so that's what do you think about that the country can push forward if we actually use the same concepts of value addition and promoting culture? What do you think about that?
It's already happening.
Yeah.
Like I've said that in Scandinavia. I was in Malaysia sometime back. This concept is widespread.
Yeah.
In that, in Malaysia, they call it the homestay system.
Yeah.
They create a warm atmosphere where local culture is displayed,
Yeah.
through foods, through the sort of structures, residential structures, and even the activities.
Yeah.
When people come in,
Yeah.
they are exposed to the local culture.
Yeah.
So in a way, this place is also playing the same role, like what happens in Malaysia, where they with the homestay system.
Yeah. Good. I think that's the direction we want to go, and our people are traveling down to South Africa across the Limpopo infected rivers, and risking their lives going down south. And we've thought ourselves, say, well, you guys, we've stopped them here locally to say there's no point to be going down there. We can try and make use of what's happening here, and try and survive. So what do you think, Mr. Dengo, about this whole concept? How can we move forward with this kind of concept of culture and sustainability?
Yes, yeah, certainly the aspect of rural investment is very important for our country. We should certainly move away from this idea that all people should be moving to cities,
Yeah.
and getting employment in cities. It's well and good to have industries in the cities, but in the rural areas there should be activity to employ our youth, economic activities to benefit our youths, and so that people are not up to all sorts of mischief and moving away and everything. Yeah. So now we have very energetic young men who are working here, and who are hired on a regular basis to assist here. So if several projects like this are happening, and our people are able to travel and coming to all these places, like Victoria Falls is a tourism hub for Zimbabwe. So we don't expect that the issue that you are a new entrant into this industry is not a hurdle at all.
Yeah.
Because they're just adding to the
Existing structures. Yeah.
So
Existing,
there are people who don't like actually to stay in hotels which are crowded, and they are traveling from even well-up countries where the same hotels are there.
Yeah.
There's nothing new about a five-star hotel, but there's everything new about staying here. Because this is not there in New York, this is not there in
You can't find
London,
anywhere else. Yes.
this is not there in Paris or Moscow or China. This is only found here in Zimbabwe, and at this particular temperature, at this particular humidity.
And maybe if I may also add, I'm quite happy about the two areas which you are addressing. One, you are actually hitchhiking on the idea that Victoria Falls is a tourism hub, and because tourists come to Victoria Falls, there's that downstream effect that if this place is well marketed, some tourists will come to Victoria Falls. Some of them will end up coming here. And secondly, the issue of conservation to do with elephants, the movement of elephants, and so forth. The local community, if the local community is involved in activities here, and they are trained and educated about the need to conserve the Mopani tree and the elephants and so forth, it will be easy for that gospel to be spread among the community, because the community is participating.
They become stakeholders.
Yes, they become stakeholders.
Yeah.
Yes, they won't be in the terraces.
Yeah.
But they'll be participants.
Yeah.
In the whole concept of conservation of the Mopani tree and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a very good point. So, to summarize, I think we've learned that we got to be stakeholders. For them to be passionate about wildlife, about tourism, they need to be part of it. So if you leave the rural communities out, because one, we have a stereotyping about rural communities. So if you leave them out, they are going to be destroying the trees and all that. They don't see the benefit. But if you put them in and they become stakeholders, then they look after the Mopani trees, they look after the wildlife. So that's the direction we are taking. This is built by the rural community, this is done by the rural community, and the direction is shaped by the rural community. And the traditional leaders are shaping us and guiding us. So we are on a different path, but going the same direction with everyone else. But yeah, that's how unique we are. We are more traditional, we are more with the rural communities, and we are more about lifting up everyone. No one is left behind. And how we've made or tried to do that is by sharing the skills that we have. If I'm good at something, I teach someone.